A black and white police car appeared in Marcus's rearview mirror. It lingered there like a shadow, silent but heavy with authority. No flashing lights, no siren, just quiet intimidation. Block after block, it followed. Then suddenly, red and blue lights burst alive, cutting through the air. The soundless threat turned into a loud command. Marcus's face stayed calm, the way years of discipline had trained him, but his stomach tightened with unease. He pulled over slowly, his hand steady on the wheel. In the passenger seat, a brown paper bag shook against the seat, filled with his mother's favorite snacks. What should have been a simple errand now felt like the start of something dangerous. Officer Miller walked up, her sunglasses reflecting Marcus's face back at him. He was no longer just a software engineer heading home. He was a suspect, part of a ritual far older than this town. This stop wasn't about a broken taillight or speeding. It was about something deeper, the unspoken truth that skin color alone could turn a routine drive into an interrogation. License and registration, Miller ordered, her voice sharp and cold. Marcus moved carefully, retrieving a black folder from the glove box. These are government-issued plates, he explained evenly. They won't show up in civilian databases. You'll need restricted access to check them. The silence that followed Preston like a weight. Her partner, Officer Evans, pretended to check the taillights, but his eyes stayed locked on Marcus. Cicadas buzzed in the air, mocking the tension. Marcus asked firmly, "On what legal grounds can you order me out of this car?" Miller's lips twitched. Evans's hand drifted closer to his gun, and the air grew tighter. "Step out of the vehicle," Miller finally commanded. Marcus obeyed, every move slow and visible. As soon as he stood outside, Miller called for backup. His heart beat hard, not with fear, but with determination. He had to stand his ground. Without warning, Miller grabbed him, yanking him forward. His legs hit the hot metal of the car, but he refused to flinch. "This is wrong," he said through clenched teeth. She answered only with handcuffs, the steel biting into his wrists. "I've done nothing wrong." "Tell me why," Marcus demanded, his voice strained but steady. She gave no reply. Instead, she shoved him into the back of the cruiser and slammed the door. The harsh clang echoed down Sycamore Avenue, a cruel reminder of battles fought in silence. At the Cedar Falls Police Department, Marcus was treated like a number. No rights read, no lawyer called. They locked him in a bare concrete cell, the cold floor beneath him a sharp contrast of fire of injustice burning inside. "Not this time," he whispered into the empty room, promising himself he wouldn't be silenced again. The next morning, the precinct door swung open. In walked Elias Thorne, Marcus's brother, a civil rights attorney. A subpoena gripped in his hand demanded the release of the dashcam footage. The fight was just beginning. Elias walked through the precinct halls with calm determination, a rare spark of hope in that cold place. Within hours, he secured the dashcam footage. On the screen, the truth unfolded. Marcus moving carefully, following every instruction, then the sudden shove, the snap of handcuffs. Elias jotted down every second, every word, every detail. The police report, he noticed, told a different story, claiming Marcus had been aggressive. The video proved otherwise. Later, at the quiet Java Bean Cafe, courthouse clerk Paige Dawson slid a thick folder across the table to Marcus and Elias. Inside were dozens of hidden complaints. Different names, same accusations. Black men labeled defiant or noncompliant. Their cases dropped, their voices erased. Paige's hand shook as she handed over her signed statement. "I've seen these reports buried for years while people suffered in silence," she said. That night, in the dim light of the cafe, a plan took shape. They would not wait for more lives to be ruined. The complaints would be filed in public record, given to independent journalists, and forced into the open. The story spread quickly. At the Cedar Falls Community Center, Marcus and Elias began holding Know Your Rights workshops every Tuesday night. Folding chairs filled the room with neighbors of all ages. Marcus always opened with the same words. "When enough of us speak, the system can't pretend we don't exist." People came forward, one by one, to tell their own stories of Officer Miller's unchecked power. The meetings did more than teach. They united community. Pain turned into strength, silence into action. Soon, the case reached the courtroom. The dash cam footage lit up the screen, undeniable evidence. One witness after another testified, each story echoing the same pattern of abuse. Judge Eleanor Vance listened carefully, her voice steady when she declared there was enough evidence for formal charges of misconduct and falsifying reports. The room erupted in tears and applause. In the end, Officer Miller was found guilty. Her badge was taken, and she was banned from ever serving as an officer again. Almost overnight, the Cedar Falls Police Department faced a full review. Old cases were reopened, long silence victims finally heard. Still, Marcus did not see this as a victory to rest on. He kept leading workshops every Tuesday, urging people to speak up. Bright murals of Page and others appeared on city walls, painted with a message: speak up, don't stay silent. A year later, Cedar Falls was transformed. A civilian oversight council met in the old precinct building, its walls decorated with portraits of residents who once felt voiceless. The state passed a transparency law, making once hidden patrol records public. Marcus, once a man handcuffed for nothing, now traveled the region, reminding communities that justice depended on their voices. Our story is not finished, he told crowds. On the anniversary of that hot afternoon on Sycamore Avenue, the town held its first Speak Out Day. The community center filled with chairs and stories. Neighbors taught each other how to document encounters, demand answers, and stand together. Cedar Falls looked calmer now, but beneath the surface ran a current of watchfulness. What began as one man pushed against a hot hood had sparked a movement too strong to be ignored. When a community refuses silence, even the deepest prejudice can be uncovered, challenged, and broken.